Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. This is Chrissy T, and I'm back with some tea. Child, listen. I want to discuss the situation with Wendy Williams. Some people think it wasn't a good idea for the documentary to air, but I think it was a good idea. I think it was good so that now the public can see that the people Wendy Williams have around her, they don't have her best interests at heart. You have Will, who is her manager, and he pretends to show some disapproval of Wendy Williams' alcohol consumption, but at the same time, he enables her, and I believe that he's also providing the alcohol. Then you have her publicist, who's in denial and oblivious to the fact that Wendy Williams' health is declining, and she seemed to think it's normal. These people do not have her best interests at heart at all. Where is Wendy Williams? That's the million-dollar question. Her family remains in the dark. Okay, they're fortunate enough if they receive communication from her, and the communication from her is very limited. Wendy can call her family, but they cannot call her. And I'm sure this is not Wendy's choice. I believe this was put in place by the Guardian. When Wendy does call her family, she calls from a blocked number. Her son hasn't seen her in 8 months. This was filmed in 2022, so he probably haven't seen her even longer. The family has no access to Wendy at all. When her dad was in the hospital, they reached out to the Guardian. They didn't hear from Wendy until the following week. And it's a shame that her family, which includes her father, her sister, her son, niece, and nephew, they have to reach a third party in order to get a hold of Wendy. And it's sad. And at this point, what Wendy is going through, she needs her family. When someone is battling a health problem, their deepest desire is often to be surrounded by their family. And why would this Guardian think it's acceptable to isolate Wendy from her family, especially her damn son? So according to Wendy's old lawyer, who's also still in Florida, she has some things to say, and this is what she posted on her Instagram. I'm going to post it, and I'm also going to read it. I weighed this decision for a very long time. I have kept silent because I have been threatened with physical and financial harm, but I just couldn't keep silent any longer. While Wendy was in Miami with her son, I would often witness candid moments of their mother and son dynamic. I could tell that he loves his mother so much, and as you can see, the feeling was mutual. You can clearly see the difference between Wendy's well-being during her time here in Florida with her son, caring for her, and the lack thereof in New York under this guardianship. These Wendy's are not the same. How did her health decline so quickly? And why isn't her only child allowed to be by her side? She wasn't like that when she was cared for here in Florida. Ask the hard questions. I took this video literally 2 weeks before Wendy was court ordered to return to New York to respond to a guardianship petition filed by her bank. Let that sink in. My mother passed away on October 1st, 2022 from complications related to ALS diagnosis. And I feel so blessed and grateful that I was able to spend every second that I could with her before she left this earth. If Wendy's diagnosis is true, now more than ever, her son should be allowed the same grace. He deserves it, and more importantly, Wendy deserves it. So let me get this straight. Wendy can be around anybody she's paying, but she can't be around her only son and her family. Make it make sense. This is ridiculous, and it's sad.
I like the company I keep there, and I do what I can. I do what I can.
I see you looking real healthy now.
Please, Kevin, please.
Yeah, but you also like how it's really private, because I know you like gyms if they're private, of course.
Yeah, I like it, and I also like food, which is why I've got to keep on my routines with going to the gym,
Yeah, and like how have you been eating, like? Because everyone looks at you, you have beautiful skin, like people want to know what's the secret.
Thank you. I'm not giving you points for saying that to me. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm trying.
No, but it's, I was born.
So we see that Wendy was in good spirits and she was looking healthy prior to her being taken from her family and sent to Neverland, because we don't have a name of the facility. We don't know where the facility is located. We don't know if the facility exists. But what we do know is Wendy was taken away from her family. When Wendy was with her family, she was doing so much better. Okay, there was no access to alcohol at all. The moment she went back to New York, she ended up in the damn hospital needing a blood transfusion due to alcohol poisoning. That is why her health continues to decline, because the people she have around her don't give a damn about her. They're just trying to get paid. I also want to dive into the reason why this conservatorship was implemented in the first place. So her bank, Wells Fargo, they petitioned the court for a temporary financial guardianship over her. Why? Because her former financial advisor, Lori Schiller, notified the bank that Wendy Williams was in an unsound mind. Wells Fargo questioned hundreds of thousands of dollars that was being spent when Wendy was under the care of her son, who was also the power of attorney. Now, her son said that he never spent the money without his mother's consent, but the court did decide anyway to appoint an independent guardian and not someone in the family. So apparently there was $100,000 spent on Kevin's birthday. That's Kevin Jr. There was $60,000 spent for Uber Eats. And also there was $80,000 spent for Kevin's apartment. Now, they had frozen Wendy's accounts, which she was paying. She was supporting her son. Mind you, he's in college. She was supporting him financially, paying the rent. Once they froze her accounts, the rent wasn't paid. He ended up being evicted. So she wasn't in a sound mind to financially support her son, but she's in a sound mind to continually to pay her manager and her publicist. Make it make sense. Also, the court papers related to Wendy's guardianship, they've been sealed. So once again, leaving the family in the dark about the specifics of the court decision. They wanted to know how the hell did the court make this decision to appoint an independent guardian and not someone within the family. And this guardian that was appointed, this guardian has decided to sue A&E, which is the parent company of Lifetime, because this person didn't want this documentary shown. And it sounds like this guardian has some things that he or she wants to hide. Something to hide. Also, we learned that Wendy Williams was found by the filming crew. She was shown passed out in her bed with an empty liquor bottle beside her. Now, and her eyes rolled in back of her head. Now, any sane person would call 911. The film crew called management. They didn't call emergency services. They called management, okay, who then called her son, and he told them to call 911. After that, they literally had to beg and plead with the guardian to get Wendy help. I also want to add that there were moments in the documentary that made me chuckle because Wendy was throwing shade. And then there were other moments when she was erratic and downright nasty. Now, I was told that due to her diagnosis of dementia, psychological changes does occur, which means inappropriate behavior, confusion, disorientation. These are the side effects. She called her publicist fat. She said that her nail tech was stupid. So these are the things that she was saying because of the dementia. I don't recall Wendy being this nasty. Shady, but not nasty. At one point, the film crew was in her room and they were questioning her finances being frozen and also her supporting her son. So she told him to get out. I guess it triggered something inside her. She said she has so much money and she just wants it for her son. Then she said that when she dies, he gets everything. So she is really just concerned about her son and she wants to support him. So then Wendy mentions that her drinking has caused a wedge between her and her sister. And also it's caused a wedge between her and her son. She says she loves her sister, but her sister hates the fact that Wendy loves alcohol. Her son mentions that her addiction is so out of control that if anyone is against it and if anyone is trying to help her, she'll move them out. Now, that explains why the manager and the publicist is still around. And also, people were curious as to what the purpose is or was of this documentary. Well, Wendy's motivation was for her to document her comeback journey. After being off air for a while, she was determined to return back to work. Despite her medical condition, she wanted to demonstrate that nothing would hinder her progress, not even her illness. Now, Wendy has frontotemporal dementia. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right. Aphasia. She has lymphedema, which limits her ability to walk. She can only feel about 2% of her feet. So when she's walking, she needs to hold on to someone or she needs to be in a wheelchair. With all this being said, Wendy is alleged to be in a wellness facility. Now, the Guardian has full power and control. The whereabouts and the name of this facility still remains a mystery. The family doesn't know. And this is a very sad situation. And I'm praying for Wendy's full recovery. I'm praying that she reunites with her family, especially her son. I pray that she's reunited very soon. And let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and I will see you guys, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.